from my part as much as I can contribute.
The earth is who we are.
We're going to save the soil. Do your part.
And saving the soils.
And our planet's future depend on it.
Sadhguru, save soil, my friend.
Let's save soil and create a conscious planet.
Save soil.
Save our soil.
Save soil.
Sadhguru, the hero.
Save the soil. Save soil.
Save soil. Let's make it happen.
It is time to save the soil.
Save soil.
Save soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make this happen.
Let us make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Save soil. Let's make it happen.
Our soil needs nourishing. Save soil. Let us make it happen.
And the movement that you are taken up, I could not expect any more God's blessing than that.
Sadhguru, and this campaign is so important.
I welcome Sadhguru's Conscious Planet Initiative.
This is a global goal. This must be a generational aspiration.
Thanks to you, I know that we also are facing a soil crisis.
And thank you very much. You gave me a lot to think about.
You've been on this trip, 100 days, 27 countries, Save Soil campaign.
गुड मॉर्निंग में कहेंगे सेफ सॉइल।
Soil is not our property. It's a legacy that's come to us from previous generations, and we must pass it on as living soil for future generations.
Today we are witnessing Sadhguru visiting Manama Souk, which is one of the oldest souk in the region. We are very glad to have Sadhguru in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and we hope that this campaign will be successful and the movement will be pushed from all the communities, not only Bahrain but all this region. Save soil and let's make it happen.
We are happy to announce that Sadhguru is nearing Isha Yoga Center. He has just left the nearby village, Semmedu. Sadhguru பக்கத்தில் இருக்கிற செம்மேடு கிராமத்தை தாண்டி ஈஷா யோகா மையம் நோக்கி வந்துட்டுருக்காங்க. Save Soil movement has gained a massive awareness amongst world leaders and people of many nations. To leverage this further, the Earth Buddy Collective is offering tools to widen the participation. This volunteer-run initiative is introducing digital earthworms that unite Save Soil community using NFT art as a medium. Owners can unlock special features. Join us in our journey as we celebrate unsung heroes of our soil. This artwork will be shared completely free of charge with the Save Soil community. Join earthbuddycollective.com to support and honor the world's largest ecological movement. Let's make it happen.
मिट्टी से बनी है जान मेरी, मिट्टी से बनी है जमीन मेरी, मिट्टी ने दिया है निवाला हमें, एहसान तेरा छूटे न कभी। ओ माई तेरी ममता जो मिली, हर जुल्म के बदले प्रीत मिली, ये जन्म का बंधन गोद तेरी, एहसान तेरा छूटे न कभी। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के, मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के, खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। மண்ணுடலே அதில் மண்ணுயிரே, மண்ணின் குடிலே அதில் மண் சுவரே, மண் மறந்தால் ஒரு மண் குழியே, மண்ணே உடைந்தால் அது தாய்மடியே। மண்ணுடலே அதில் மண்ணுயிரே, மண்ணின் குடிலே அதில் மண் சுவரே, மண் மறந்தால் ஒரு மண் குழியே, மண்ணே உடைந்தால் அது தாய்மடியே। தாய் மண்ணே உன் மடியில் நான் உயிர் மலர்ந்தேன், மண்ணில் பிறந்தேன் நான் என் ஜனனம் உன் கருணை அல்லவா। அணு அணுவாய் உன்னில் கலந்தேன் நான் ஓர் உயிராய், உன்னில் இணைந்தேன் நான் என் வாழ்வை உன் அருளாய் அல்லவா। தாய் மண்ணே உன் மடியில் நான் உயிர் மலர்ந்தேன், மண்ணில் பிறந்தேன் நான் என் ஜனனம் உன் கருணை அல்லவா। அணு அணுவாய் உன்னில் கலந்தேன் நான் ஒரு உயிராய், உன்னில் நுழைந்தேன் நான் என் வாழ்வே உன் அருளால் அல்லவா। ये जीवन ये जिंदगानी मेरी, लाएंगे बहारे फिर तुझ में देनी भी पड़े ये जान मेरी। हर बात में सालन हुए तेरी गोद में आकर एक हुए, महसूस किया नहीं जिसने तुझे जिंदा होकर भी क्या मुझे। ओ माई मेरी कुर्बान तुझे, ये जीवन ये जिंदगानी मेरी, लाएंगे बहारे फिर तुझ में देने भी पड़े ये जान मेरी। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के, मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी मैं दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरी खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी मैं दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के, मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी मैं दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी मैं दिल की आरज़ू। जो मिली हर जुल्म के बदले प्रीत मिली, ये जन्म का बंधन गोद तेरी, एहसान तेरा छूटे न कभी। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के, मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। में मिल जावा गुल बन के, मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की காலது தாய்மடியே மண்ணுடலே அது மண்ணுயிரே மண்ணின் குடிலே அது மண் சுவரே மண் மறுத்தால் ஒரு மண் குடியே மண்ணே காலது தாய்மடியே தாய்மண்ணே உன் மடியில் நான் உயிர் வளர்ந்தேன் மண் பிறந்தேன் நான் என் ஜனனம் உன் கருணை அல்லவா அணு அணுவாய் உன்னை கலந்தே நானோ உயிராய் உன்னில் இருந்தே நான் என் வாழ்வே உன் அருளால் அல்லவா தாய்மண்ணே உன் மடியில் நான் உயிர் வளர்ந்தேன் மண்ணில் பிறந்தேன் நான் என் ஜனனம் உன் கருணை அல்லவா அணு அணுவாய் உன்னை கலந்தே நானோ உயிராய் உன்னில் இருந்தே நான் என் வாழ்வே உன் அருளால் அல்லவா हर बात में इंसान अलग हुए तेरी गोद में आकर एक हुए महसूस किया नहीं जिसने तुझे जिंदा होकर भी क्या मुझे ओ माई मेरी कुर्बान तुझे ये जीवन ये जिंदगानी में लाएंगे बहारे फिर तुझ में देनी भी पड़े ये जान मेरी हर बात में इंसान हुए तेरी गोद में आकर एक हुए महसूस किया नहीं जिसने तुझे जिंदा होकर भी क्या मुझे ओ माई मेरी कुर्बान तुझे ये जीवन ये जिंदगानी में लाएंगे बहारे फिर तुझ में देनी भी पड़े ये जान मेरी तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू तेरी नदियों में बह जावा तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू तेरी नदियों में बह जावा तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू தாய்மண்ணே உன் மடியில் நான் உயிர் வளர்ந்தேன் மண் பிறந்தே நான் என் ஜனனம் உன் கருணை அல்லவா அணு அணுவாய் உன்னை கலந்தே நானோ உயிராய் உன்னில் இணைந்தே
now like to share a glimpse of this incredible Save Soil journey, its impact and how it has united people, policy makers and influencers from all walks of life across the world.
A 100-day journey spanning 30,000 kilometers.
Braving relentless storms, rain, snow, and sandstorms.
From London to India as part of a Save Soil campaign.
Its aim is to activate the support of over 3.5 billion people.
To change the world and make it a better place.
It's a great pleasure for me. These beautiful Caribbean nations are going for this first.
This memorandum of understanding that we are signing, it will also bring some technical assistance to the Caribbean region.
This is a historic moment because here is the first step to turn around.
I'm talking about soil. You are on a mission.
This 100-day motorcycle journey, inspiring the world.
It is not about the motorcycle, it's not about the journey, it's not about the song, it is about moving people on the planet. Make it happen, huh?
What you're doing today is really important because people like you who have a wonderful following of millions and millions of people, and what you're doing with that is so important with saving the soil.
It's an extraordinary campaign. It echoes what we in the Commonwealth have been aspiring to do for a number of years.
Nobody spoke about soil like Sadhguru does.
If we all contribute, then we have a really strong voice.
There has been so much excitement and everybody is so excited to hear Sadhguru.
It's our common issue together. It's not for one nation, for one person, but we as people have to unite and to solve this.
All of us have been part of this destruction. The only way is all of us become part of the solution also.
Sadhguru, thank you.
Riding on to Italy. Italy is raining heavily tonight. The rain and the cold, getting my knees all burned out. Wet roads and motorcycles don't really like each other much. The most dangerous thing has been the winds. Sometimes winds were gusting around 65 knots. So literally my front wheel was just lifting up like it's a balloon.
The wind, the cold, the challenges are there every day. Every day for Sadhguru, it's literally death and life situation.
It must be very taxing on his body. Of course, he doesn't show so much of it, but we see him in a lot of pain.
In this cold, slippery road and winds are picking up speed, no matter what the hell, I have to keep going. You think this is a problem? Relentless commitment to what you do. That is the only solution. Over 2,000 years ago, this eternal city made the mistake of over-farming the region, and that was also the fall of the city at that time. So, the Romans of today should never make that mistake once again.
So it's like a wave of hope.
It's necessary for the future.
And we are very
happy that we are aligned in our message to really hide the profile of soils.
Young people getting into farming is very good. That's the future of the world. Thank you.
I think it's a message of urgency, but it's also a message of hope. So I would really like to thank Sadhguru for his leadership.
The global movement led by him addresses the soil crisis by mobilizing people around the entire world.
An MOU to be signed between Isha Foundation and 4,000 Initiative Soils for Food Security and Climate.
Sadhguru, what you are doing is really impressive.
I'm quite amazed and thrilled by it.
His mission is what we need.
It's fantastic. France has been great.
We should all stand up and make the most impact we can to create a real change in the world.
Save the soil.
Red de Bodembeweging!
A smashing evening at the main event. And a super enthusiastic crowd committing themselves to make this happen.
It's heartwarming to see everybody come together.
Save soil on the move. Let's make it happen. Just look up the news and see in the last 4 months, how many governments have started talking about soil because they see it's picking up momentum. But if you create 3 to 4 billion people talking about soil, that's it. That will be the main conversation in the government.
Save the Soil is a very important movement that we support as UNCCD.
We need to do everything to protect it and prevent harm to the soil. Join Sadhguru in his movement. We are all with him.
Save soil, let's make it happen. The Education Ministry in Germany has now come into the picture officially and asked all the children to do artwork to support Save Soil movement. Good, Arjun, wonderful. Congratulations that you wrote to the Prime Minister.
Let's make it happen!
These days, the modern mothers, if children go and put their hands in the soil and come, they say, your hands are dirty. No, they're not dirty. You are touching the source of your life. So, on the way to Bratislava, well, the road surface is not great. Morning it was below zero, there was snow flurries. These are nations with much older cars and trucks, and I see a lot more oil slicks on the road. Water, oil, motorcycle, boom, doesn't go well.
I think there is a great potential for a good collaboration, partnership with the campaign Save Soil and what we are doing as a government.
I totally agree with you. Your activity in the world will change the way of view of the policymakers.
People from Istanbul were really amazed by Sadhguru to appear, and they were just so happy to see him.
This many people, if all of you are committed, I think I don't have to go on writing like crazy. Yesterday I wrote 18 hours, can you believe this?
He'd been riding through very rough terrain, rough roads, dusty construction sites.
It was a long drive and we were getting a little late for the live event at Tbilisi.
He, right at the end, maybe 5 minutes before the event, decided that he couldn't stop for a break.
In the traffic, he was just removing his jacket and gloves and throwing in the car just to make it on time.
The whole purpose of this moment is to first to bring this home, that when you walk up on the soil, you know it is the source of your life. Keeping it alive is the most important thing. Will you make it happen?
It's a gift from God for the people, for the earth, for the soil.
We must save the soil, we must plant the trees, we must replenish the forests, we must save our planet.
Hopefully we will make it through the sand. Locals are warning us, no, no, no. But you know, we are one big S.
This is not for us, this is for him and his generation.
Here in Palestine, wonderful to be here.
I salute you and I respect your initiative and my full support of what is needed from the Palestinian side.
When it comes to agriculture, when it comes to soil, when it comes to soil ecology, our national borders mean nothing because microorganisms operate as a global system.
Well, it's very, I can tell you as a motorcycle driver, I also like motorcycles and it's not easy. He's devoted and this is what makes him so impressive and so… he touches people.
Dear Sadhguru, one of the world's voices and leaders on soil conservation and land.
It's extremely important. It must be a single-point agenda, incentive-based agenda. I don't want this COP15 to end as one more convention with more paper and more paper. This must end with concrete action.
There is no word to describe what Sadhguru is doing for us.
You honor the country, you honor the people of this country. And on behalf of the head of state…
It's my pleasure.
I want to thank you very much.
It's a great privilege.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
If we act as one humanity, in the next 10-15 years we can turn this around.
As for the Muslim World League, we are completely ready to help you. We have already loved you a lot. We have even loved you even before seeing you. And when we saw you, we even fell in love even more.
Here we are just leaving Riyadh, riding into some kind of a dust storm.
It's an honor to have you here in this location, in the heart of Bahrain, in this ancient harbor.
His thoughts and philosophies goes across all cultures and religions. Whatever he says, we believe in it as Muslims, and I'm sure all the Christians who are here believe in what he says.
I think it's time for us all to rally as people behind soil and understand that it is our common ground.
930 kilometers, which means probably we'll have to ride the whole night. But already, sand, minute particles of sand is in every pore of my body.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Sadhguru, on this wonderful journey. The UAE is partnering with you on Safe Soil, such an important cause.
Safe soil is surely a cause
that we can all fully endorse. My dear brother Sadhguru, I would like to thank you for including the United Arab Emirates in your inspiring journey.
Saving soil is one of the most important things on the planet right now.
It's not his mission, it needs to become all of our missions.
I'm here to save soil.
I have joined Save the Soil movement. As a chief minister, I should lead from the front.
He's doing it even before I reach Karnataka.
How do we leverage the collective mind of farmers to make it a more impactful movement?
If you assemble 500,000 people in your place, our people will come there and tell them how to go about it.
Our road is hot, engine is hot, the seat is getting very hot, my clothes are hot, I'm the only cool one out here. I said, Oman, one more desert I have to ride. They said, no Sadhguru, Oman looks like Kerala. If one part of your nation is green, it just takes a determined effort to stretch that green all the way up.
There are no words to describe what it means to be back in India.
It's a very proud moment to have amidst us the savior of the soil. You are in Gujarat since 2 days. हमारा गुजरात कैसा लगा आपको?
People are cool, but the weather is hot. Will you promise me in the next 100 years' time, we'll make the weather also cool for future generations? Save soil we must for you only, okay?
While we were shooting and sitting in a car, we could see the kind of discomfort that he was going through.
Especially once he went through Rajasthan.
The heat was simply unbearable.
And the roads that he has to drive on while it's that hot, there are just bumps, sometimes there are potholes, vehicles which are going against the traffic, cattle that are just crossing the road, people that are crossing the road.
People used to mob him. We can understand it's out of love, but still it's too dangerous.
क्या आपकी आवाज और आशीर्वाद मेरे साथ है क्या?
As the Prime Minister has taken up the Solar Alliance, I think there's an immense opportunity. After talking to various leaders around the world, I realized India and the Prime Minister of India could take up the leadership of soil regeneration in India and the world.
सदगुरु जी ने यात्रा की, दुनिया को मिट्टी के प्रति स्नेह तो पैदा हुआ ही होगा, लेकिन भारत की मिट्टी की ताकत का भी परिचय मिला होगा।
As a capital city, you have a more important responsibility than anybody else. Will you keep it up for the next few months till these policies happen? Let's make it happen.
La 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 la.
तथा उत्तर प्रदेश की 25 करोड़ जनता इस पूरे अभियान के साथ जुड़ेगी।
मैं ये वचन देता हूं कि मिट्टी बचाओ अभियान में आपके पीछे हम कदम से कदम और कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर साथ चलेंगे।
After nearly a month in the desert land, first taste of monsoon as we enter Maharashtra with a welcome rain. 25,406 kilometers to Nashik. Right now my motorcycle is raining that.
We drove pretty much through the night
so that we could make it to Bombay. And that day it rained also. His t-shirt was fully drenched. He's riding through the night. There was just no break for him. He's just constantly riding.
We are committed to this cause, and I'm here to say that Maharashtra आपल्या सोबत आहे, ईशा फाउंडेशनच्या सोबत आहे आणि सेफ सॉइलच्या सोबत आहे.
As a government, we have not only signed the MOU, I promise that we will do everything under the command to save soil.
So as I park here, it's 27,854 kilometers.
Namaskaram. My name is Senthil, and as part of the journey from London till Muscat for the first 70 days. And I was also involved in the months preceding the journey. And just looking back and just seeing what I have just gone through in those 70 days, in those few months, it just feels like I've just been through a storm. And just being in the center of a storm and just going through it, that's how it felt. Because just where we were at the end of last year and what it has become now, this is nothing but a storm. And this is not a storm that just got kicked up in the last few months, not in the few years. As much as I know, this has been brewing for the last 3 decades, because the early days when I had just taken the program with Sadhguru. At that time, walking in the Himalayas, a few of us were walking. He talked about how Tamil Nadu is becoming a desert. The desertification is happening in South India. And it was something totally new to us because we didn't understand the concept of desertification at that time. And we had forgotten. There were many efforts, Kaveri Calling and Project Green Hands, and the projects happened in India. But when Sadhguru mentioned this late last year, that we are going to do a journey from London to India, and he said the focus will be on soil. It wasn't a surprise to me because even though we had forgotten, it came back in a completely at a different magnitude. And from then on, the way this whole movement began, and it came about when Sadhguru talked about how this needs to happen, what needs to happen. Everybody had their own ideas of what should happen and how things should happen, and many ideas were floated. But one thing that was clear was Sadhguru had a very clear vision of what needed to happen. And along the way, every idea and thought that might come out of our own limited understanding of things, he knocked it down and he said, no, this is not it. It's some other way. After some time, we understood that what he is really looking to make happen is not something that's going to happen out of our limited logical understanding. And only then it became clear that all we needed to do was to simply just look in the directions that Sadhguru points and do our part. And it truly became, in those 70 days, those 3 months, where it was pretty much in thin air. The soil health, the soil deterioration was simply a matter that was so deeply buried that in spite of so many experts and so many UN agencies and so many scientists have done volume of work in their own rights as an agenda to be acted upon, it was nowhere near. From there to where it has come now, where half of the world's population has been touched by the storm, it really looked magical, even for those who were in the center of this storm, had the privilege of witnessing it from inside out. Even for us, it truly looked magical. But definitely it didn't come out of a magic, because we saw what it took, what it really took from Sadhguru's part. Every aspect of this campaign, this journey, and what needed to happen was meticulously planned and guided by Sadhguru. And the team that traveled, and for all of us, it was probably lifetime of activity that got packed into those 100 days now. But when I really look at it, how this magic happened, even I'm clueless about it. I'm literally not able to put my finger on what really made this happen in terms of activity or what's been done, because there were events and meetings and media and all the things that normally always happen. But somehow there was something else woven into this whole thing. Because what really, in my experience, happened was that a situation was created which literally drew people, literally drew humanity into it. Because Sadhguru said that this is not against anybody, this is out of concern for life. And we literally witnessed the power of what that means. Because the strangest thing is, the most incredible thing that happened, the journey started in London and going through Europe, and all the countries, places that Sadhguru has never even been there physically. We know there have been followers all over the world, but we never really imagined that it would play out the way it played out. Anytime, any event that you open, in 2 days' time, it will get filled up and it will go into waiting list and thousands of people. And even in countries, places that we never even had any kind of effort or activity, we opened and 6,000-7,000 people simply registered in 2 days' time. But what was most amazing was that even in the most sort of unexpected places of the region, especially in the Middle East, people were expecting, or many people were expecting, that it's going to be a very muted campaign. It's going to be, not so exuberant and that much response would happen. But to everyone's amazement, it was the most incredible experience in Middle East, in all those countries, that the way the people, the rulers, the royals, the government, the ministers, everybody, the way they received Sadhguru, it wasn't as if he is coming from another country. He saw him as their own. There was a certain kind of love and affection with which they welcomed, which is completely changed my perception of humanity and people. And still I'm not able to really verbalize the experience that we have gone through, but this has changed our perception of people and life forever.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram, Sadhguru. I really don't know where to start and what to say. First, I would like to pay my absolute gratitude to you, Sadhguru. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity where no one can even imagine such thing. If it is not for you, the whole Save Soil movement, I don't think so anyone else can do such an effort in the position you are. And to top it all, you just picked us to be to participate in in a really small way. Thank you for giving this opportunity, Sadhguru. I just want to make one thing clear over here, is that riding a motorcycle is a fun, but still extremely painful, even for a weekend ride. With a whole leather suit and the ankle full boot and the gloves, the helmet which is squeezing your chin, and to top it all, the engine heat and the environment over here. When Sadhguru initially told about the bike ride, I was thinking about it because I used to ask my mom, I want to go on a bike ride all over the world. She was like, okay. She didn't even respond to me. But when I heard, I was like, even I was riding a bike before, I thought it's going to be like really fun and Sadhguru is going to be like going through here and there. But in the third day itself, I understood the scale of it and the amount of pain which Sadhguru gone through. Yes, of course, it's a blessing to be around Sadhguru and see the whole moment catching up fire. But at the same time, it was extremely painful to see the most loved person of your own, very own Guru going through all of a pain. And it's not for him, it's for everyone. And it's not even for the Isha people, it's for the people who he doesn't even know, he doesn't even see. That dedication and that commitment, I realized literally on the third day itself. Because the way he was riding was, I'm sorry to mention the age, it was literally like a 25-year-old guy. It's the majestic movement where he does his bike, it glides so easily, despite of this bike being around 350, 360 kg, the way he moves it. Thank you for being an inspiration, Sadhguru. And a joyride is that you go on a ride with a couple of riders and then be in a place and talk to people, just chill around. That is exactly what joyride means. But what Sadhguru went through is 100% not a joyride. Because all he did is, he stepped on a bike, then he will plan for a break, which is usually the planning of a break will be like half an hour or 45 minutes. But for some situation, the next event will be like so tight. So he cut down his whole break time to 5 minutes, and then he will rush for the event, just to be on time and just for the word he gave to the people. I'm so glad to experience this because I've heard many people say that, but when I saw it in person, Sadhguru, it changed my mindset completely. And most of the places he even refused to take break. Sadhguru, like we used to ask Sadhguru, there is a spot we found, can we stop? At one point even Sadhguru told no, but for some reason, out of too much care, I asked him again, Sadhguru, can we stop? The answer I got from Sadhguru is, you stop and take rest, I'll go ahead. And one time, like almost every day, when Sadhguru gets off his bike, even after meeting, and even while riding also, I thought he will be in his own zone, riding his motorcycle. But it didn't happen like that. The way he was riding, he was attending Zoom calls. Attending a Zoom call itself a big thing, and that too he was riding on a motorway. And he was talking about the soil in the same energy and the same way where he talks on a stage. That one thing, when I saw, I was completely mind blown. And then he will get off the bike. He won't even remove his jacket during a break. He'll just remove his helmet. And again, he'll be on call, just walking around the parking area or something. And then again, he'll take some rest. He'll get on the bike. It keeps on going, event after event, event after event. And still, end of the night, where he's the one who will be completely exhausted. We are all the comfort zone people who will be traveling around him on a car in a controlled climate. But he is completely exposed to whatever climate it was there. No matter what it is, he refused to stop. At the end of the night, he will come, take off his jacket, take off his helmet, and he will check on each and every one of us, the whole crew. He will tell us, all eat well, take rest, see you in the morning. And none of us used to, tell that to Sadhguru back again. Even though we feel it within ourselves, we don't used to tell that back again. Most of us understand why we don't say that. And even in the morning, he will be again planning everything, and morning he will be coming. Even in the morning, he will check on us. Is everyone okay? All ate? Did you guys take some rest? And then again, he'll get on the bike. I really don't know, Sadhguru, what I did to deserve all this. Thank you, Sadhguru. And I'm not one to say this, but still I feel like I have to say this once again. The things he's gone through just for us and the future generation should not go into waste. These 100 days from the March 21st when I was traveling with Sadhguru, I thought it's going to be dream, I'll be in a la land, this and that. But like Sandilana told, it was an absolute storm. It's not a slow pace with Sadhguru. It was extremely fast pace. And it should not go in waste. The things which Sadhguru gone through, the commitment which he held towards everyone, and events, in each and every events he talks with the same energy, and we can't even sit there relaxing ourselves because we'll be extremely tired. But he'll just get on the stage and he'll be talking with the same energy. When you see all those, for the people he is doing, for the future generation, it's our responsibility to take it forward and at least give some comfort zone for Sadhguru. Thank you, Sadhguru. Thank you so much. I never said this in the whole rally, but for the first time I'm saying, I love you so much, Sadhguru.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Please pardon me, I'm not used to talking to such a large audience, and I may be lost for some words. It is a huge honor and a privilege for me to handle the logistics of this journey. Sadhguru gave us a very little window of time before the actual journey itself started. And the scale and size of this journey is unlike that we have. It's unlike anything that we have seen till now. And also the kind of activities that were involved in it is something that we have not handled before. For example, this bike, transporting the bike across countries and across continents, getting every piece of paperwork and documents ready so that Sadhguru can travel from country to country uninterrupted. And all the other activities associated with logistics, making sure everybody is moving, everybody has everything, so that they can do what they are there to do. I'm lost for words. It's been a very, very intense experience, this whole journey. And it's more than a storm, I would say, because every day we are on, every day we are moving from one place to another, every day we are traveling for hundreds of miles. And at the end of it, there is this whole series of events. And next day, again, it starts all over again. And every day, the weather condition is very different. And in all of that, another thing that was happening was the changes in the plan. When we started, we knew these are the list of countries we'll be visiting, these are the places we'll be visiting, and on this date, this is where we will be. But as the rally progressed, and there were a lot of changes that happened, and there were some countries which got dropped, there were new countries which got added, and there were some countries which were dropped and came back onto the schedule again. So because of this, there was always, putting together a lot of things. And it also meant a lot of unexpected, maybe longer travel. At one time we thought, okay, we'll have 2 days of break because we'll be on a ferry, no internet connectivity, nothing. But next day it was almost 700 or 800 kilometers of drive, especially for Sadhguru. It was much, much longer. And those 2 days became 4 days of travel, over 2,200 kilometers in 4 days. So because of all this activity happening, unlike many people, like some of us, we never got to participate in the events that were happening. Perhaps in the first 2 months, we could participate only in 4 or 5 events. But we had this opportunity of traveling with Sadhguru during the day. And what I saw was that apart from, yes, it was not an easy ride, there's this heavy bike, there's all kinds of inclement weather, there is rain, there is snow, there is cold, there is sandstorm, there is heat, you name it and it was there. But apart from that, the way I looked at Sadhguru was, I saw him awakening in people about something that even the best of the minds in the world could not comprehend. People who has the best of the tools, access to a huge amount of resource, a lot of funding, yet they could not comprehend what Sadhguru could see, actually. And to me, what he has done during this journey is nothing short of a superhuman strength. One had to be there to see what happened, what actually happened. I know a lot of videos have gone out. You would have seen on Instagram and social media, but it was one part that you saw. There was much more that a lot of people did not get to see. For me, there is nothing that is bigger than what Sadhguru is. I don't think, there isn't another person who with this kind of wisdom and intelligence. And I think the world is finally, the rest of the world is able to see that as well. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram all. Namaskaram Sadhguru. I joined the India leg 25 days back. So these were, I've never even thought that, within 25 days I'll get to, hop from one state to another, about 11 states that we covered in the last 25. So I love traveling, but this was another level of intensity. So Sadhguru always says, that it's a privilege to sleep on the same bed. That's how we were feeling here. That every day a new city, and every day we are just, in a new place with new media volunteers and everything. So my activity was with engaging with the media. So just getting to know a personal side of Sadhguru, whatever he says, his words keep ringing in my head and he keeps guiding me. But here he was as a live example, just an exemplary yogi in front of me, with sheer intensity, with so much compassion, with so much love. He was taking care of everything. The cameras are on Sadhguru, but being part of the journey, I could see so many thirsty eyes. I could see the tears in people's eyes, the love that they hold for Sadhguru. These kind of emotions, when you see it, really humbles you down. That what a great privilege it is to be with the living master like Sadhguru. I really don't know, Sadhguru, that I was capable of, being selected for this journey, because I remember when I was saying goodbye to you here at Isha Yoga Center when you were leaving, I only had this one thought: take care, Papa. That's what I said, and I was crying because, it's not easy, that 100-day journey, and you're just there, being so vulnerable, so exposed to everything. Not caring for yourself, how you threw yourself. When Sadhguru is on, how can we not be on? So we were all on. I saw how Isha volunteers, in every city, they were just, like full vigor, full passion, full intensity, with all the swamis and mas who were around me. There was just, everyone towards that one direction. And this is, it's like when you said it's like a trained army. We all joined at different, journeys, different legs of the journey, and just unified together towards that common goal. And this made me realize that how much this is needed. The spiritual thirst in people and raising human consciousness, and of course the unifying force of saving soil. So, talking about, the activity, the media activity that we were part of. Every day, you were giving so many interviews, to so many journalists. There were press meets along the way. And they were asking almost same questions. But what I noticed is, with the same effervescence, with the same passion, with the same rigor, again and again, you're repeating the same facts. And just to see that how much devoted you are to that cause made me feel that, this is it, this is what, this is where we all should aspire to be so devoted to something. So I would just say that you, for me, are an exemplary yogi, a living, shining example of what we all can be. And to be on this ride with you and to know you, up close and personal, I think has been very, very encouraging, very, very motivating, at the same time, very humbling. So thank you so much, Sadhguru, for giving this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much. I have no words. You always say, that it's a privilege to offer yourself to others. And I just see it as a privilege. I feel more closer to soil. What in my life, what would I have actually thought of? Maybe my well-being, my family's well-being, my neighbor's well-being. But you made me think of an unborn child. An unborn child, I don't know, I am feeling for that unborn child. So definitely, the inclusiveness that you have brought in me beyond my personal, little world. So you always say, be with me, and I promise I am with you. We are with you, so we are with you, Sadhguru. Thank you.
Namaskaram. So my name is Kay, and I've been involved in Conscious Planet Safe Soul movement for almost 3 years from its inception. And initially, we could not envision how this movement would grow to this size. And in the end of last year, we were all saying, Sadhguru, we can't do this in 2022. we need to wait another year. And he used to say, no, he knew exactly when it's going to start and when it's going to end. It's going to happen this way because consciousness is willing for it to happen. There is something called consciousness that is creating this movement. Movement is not just made by us, but it actually emerged from this consciousness, and we're just catching the wave and flow. So, there are many things I can share, from the logistical challenges that we've gone through to how Sadhguru has offered himself so tirelessly. Sometimes I see that, coming off the bike, his legs trembling and his hand is frozen in that shape of the handle. But every time he goes on the stage, every time he speaks to people, his stance is strong, his voice is strong, and you don't see any of that. And I can see complete mastery that he has over his mind and his body, and to strive completely beyond oneself. So what I want to share is what Conscious Planet Safe Soil movement means for me. For me, it's actually not just about saving soil or raising awareness of soil desertification or forming partnership with global leadership and scientific community. Although these are important, actually for me, Conscious Planet is Sadhguru's attempt to plant the seed of consciousness in people's minds so the true ecological concern takes root in their heart. And this is so important. Through this movement, I learned that ecology, like health of soil and ecology at large, is very much connected to our physical health, to our spiritual health, to our societal health. It's what makes. It's just the life force in the soil that makes the consciousness. So he spoke about yogis who ate from the land that they lived on and tended to they only ate the food that was harvested on that land to maintain their spiritual integrity and the importance of soil to certain spiritual sadhanas. And he often spoke about how children who's not exposed to this rich soil will suffer from mental disturbances and spiritual disturbances for the rest of their life. So it's not just about physical deprivation that we are putting our children to. It's a spiritual deprivation. And by quantifying nature, so Sadhguru always spoke about quantification of nature has led to Mother Earth being reduced, something so sacred being reduced to material that we exploit and consume. So isn't it time for us to move from this narrative of consumption to narrative of giving? Because this is what soil does to us every day. I've seen in this journey of 100 days how everybody just gave beyond themselves. They might be CEOs of the company, they might be housewives, they might be chefs, or they might be medical doctors, but they will just give in that moment what's needed. So it might be collecting everybody's laundry. It might be hurling people's luggage, of jumping out of cars, running cars to protect Sadhguru. Or it might be, like just today, I saw a girl running behind Sadhguru with basket of mangoes. Sadhguru is just riding off, but she was just running, wanting to give. And she is the movement. The people, all of you guys are movement. You make this movement. And, Sadhguru has created this ripple of consciousness his vision is so, it just surpasses anything I can imagine in my lifetime, in my one lifetime. It's just everything, all the project from his spiritual programs to all the other ecological program, just have some sort of intelligent design. It's as if it's a ripple that would just reverberate through time. And we are witnessing this now. In 50 years' time, in 100 years' time, in 200 years' time, we will see what we have done right now here. The movement that you have all supported, how it is going to reverberate and create new consciousness on this planet. So thank you so much, Sadhguru, for giving me the opportunity to be part of this.
Hello.
Kalo na janati tava jananam Kalo na janati tava samapanam Drushto maya tava mahakara Yogeshwara Kala Kala Yogeshwara Kala Kala. Namaskaram. What do I say? As human beings, we're always thinking the value of our life is in our exclusiveness. Once you make that mistake, you're believing that your exclusiveness enhances your life. Well, you will become a wisp of life, not a torrent of life. If you want to be really exclusive, you must stop breathing, because breathing is inclusiveness, you know. Who was the lungful of breath that you have right now? In whose lungs was it just 10 minutes ago? You do not know. In last 10,000 years, through how many lungs he's gone through, you do not know. Plants, animals. Maybe your present inhalation just is an exhalation from the grasshopper out there. Yeah, just hop and see, it may work. So what inclusiveness means is, today's World Yoga Day, International Yoga Day. Yoga means union. Union is not an invention, union is not a philosophy. To be in union is not an ideology that you pick up. This is the nature of life. Either you're in tune with it or you swim upstream. Those who swim upstream, they'll grow big muscles, but they won't go anywhere. So those who swim upstream will gather things, maybe muscles, maybe money, maybe wealth, but they won't go anywhere. They won't go anywhere means life will not sparkle and move. At the most, something that they wear will sparkle. Sometimes eyes will sparkle with anger, or maybe with love also sometimes. Or maybe they'll sparkle in the world a little bit, but life will not sparkle. If life has to sparkle, it has to be inclusive, not because I say so, because that's the way life is made. So when we said yoga, to be in union, it is not something he invented, just spoke about it. If I say the breeze is cool and nice, I didn't make it, I'm only saying it. And it's really nice because since 1st of May, since I landed in Amman, from then I've been in desert lands, sometimes temperatures at 54 degrees, melting my bones out. It's nice to be back here and it's cool. This didn't happen to me in nearly 2 months. It's been hot. As if Arabia was not hot enough, it was very hot. I thought once I land in India it's going to be better, but Gujarat was competing with Muscat. Rajasthan was competing with Saudi Arabia. Uttar Pradesh, little better, but not way better. Mumbai further down got little better, but this is the first time I'm experiencing a cool breeze. Nice. See, it's not about what we do and do not do, it's about how we are. If you fix this one thing, how you are, what we do, we'll do something. What is needed is what we'll do. Save soil is not my idea. You just need it, you just do it. And I was riding to Bucharest. I've been saying this, maybe you already heard this, but there are many children here who are innocent of social media. Some adults also. So I was riding to Bucharest and I was to get there by 7 p.m. and there was a television interview. So they had set up a whole lot of things in the hotel and they were ready, but the weather got so bad and the roads were bad, the ride became what was to be about five and a half hours, became over 9.5 hours. Though we raced Considering the weather, we couldn't do any better. So we got there at 11:15. I thought there's no interview. But the whole crew, along with the anchor, they were still waiting from 7 o'clock to 11:15. So I walked straight into the interview. I got off the motorcycle and went straight in front of the cameras. And an hour and a half, when I finished, it was nearly 1 o'clock. Then I was sitting and talking to the anchor, and he said, "Sadhguru, at this age, how do you do this? Over 9 hours of riding, and you just walk into the interview and you speak all these things, and now you're sitting here and you're fine." He repeated the word "this age" 3 times, and I didn't like it. I said, "See, I've lived my life so intensely, I never had the time to get old." To get old, you need a lot of time, you have to sit and get old, you know. There are a lot of people around me who came to me when they were 18, 20 years of age. They're still running around the same way. It's been 28 years. They're in their late 40s and some of them in their 50s. I still call them boys and they're still behaving like boys. Because I've made sure there's no time for them to sit and get old. If you have time, that means you're not alive. If you really have time on your hands, what shall I do with my time? That means you're not alive. Only a living dead person has time. Otherwise, life will engage, not necessarily in activity, just in attention. You know, I shouldn't do this, but no. You know, the motorcycle is that kind of a thing that it demands moment-to-moment attention. One moment, if you're not there, you shall not be there. That's how it is. Especially when you're at a certain speed, one moment, if your attention is not there, you shall not be there. Well, there's been many dangerous moments. Well, some moments, even if you're very attentive, it could be beyond you sometimes. But the important thing is, we must understand, attention is not about a particular thing. If you are attentive or can pay attention only to certain things or certain people, that prejudiced attention is coming from exclusivity. Attention is like light. It's lighting me up. If there's an insect, it lights the insect also up. Whatever is here, it lights up. This is attention. The nature of attention is not prejudiced, but the moment you make it prejudiced, that you only pay attention to things that you think is important or you think is yours, then life will bypass you. You may eat, you may sleep, you may bear children, that happens very easily, I see. You may do many things, but life will bypass you. That is, without knowing the taste of life. You may know the taste of your body, you may know the taste of your thoughts and emotions, you may know the taste of things around you, but you will not know the taste of life. And that is the core element of who you are. If life is taken out of you, you know, all of you definitely have attended at least one funeral in your life, you see that guy is a perfect guy. You go tell him, something fantastic, we've just made gulab jamun. I haven't eaten a gulab jamun in how many months, huh? He's like this. You tell him, okay, I'll give you $1 billion. The whole mountain of gold I'm going to give you. Tell him whatever. The guy's not interested. You've seen such people? Hello? If you give him everything in the world, he won't respond because one thing is missing, that's called life. Because that's the only damn thing you have. Everything else is nonsense in your head. Everything else is just sheer nonsense in your head. So if you pull all those nonsense out and keep it out, life will throb. When your life is throbbing, then this is a living cosmos. People are asking me, Sadhguru, where are you getting this energy? I said, why are you denying yourself? The whole bloody cosmos is energy. Why are you shut up inside your own cage? If your life has become an open doorway, there is no dearth for energy. Limitless amount of energy is here. But you make yourself into a concrete block. Even in a concrete block, there are some porosity, you know, because bad engineers are always there. Some porosity is there, so something will seep in. But that's not the way to be. If your life… do one thing, I think you must try this. Anyway, most of you are wearing Rudraksh, Adiyogi Rudraksh, if you have, put it here and put one tight tape around it. Not tight enough to kill you, okay? Just halfway. Just live like that for 24 hours. That's exactly what you're doing, most of you. You constrict yourself like this, and then everything is painful, everything is trouble, everything is a problem. To make you happy, we have to dig the whole damn planet upside down. That's why save soil. If you knew how to be joyful and blissful by your own nature, where is the need to save the bloody soil? Where is the need? If human beings were joyful by their own nature, they would notice what's happening. Now boo is going on like a mill endlessly. Nobody notices a damn thing. Everybody's asking, Sadhguru, how did you become a soil scientist? How did you become an ecologist? I am not a soil scientist, I am not an ecologist, I am not even an environmentalist or an activist. I'm like a worm on this planet. Ask the worm, does it know what is happening with the soil? 6.5 decades I've been crawling around, why wouldn't I know what's happening? Oh, we have also been here? No, 18 years you've been here, I know. No, most of the time you're not in this world, you have your own world. If you make your own world, it simply means only because you have not touched the real world, which is reverberating with life, you create your own petty world. Your own world is a silly little world, however it may be. You may call it family, you may call it nation, you may call it community, you may call it friend circle, you may call it a club or a society. It's a silly little world because you made it up with bits and pieces. This is not like this is the grandeur of existence. It doesn't matter how much destruction we've done, still, just go and see, you know, that's a safe soil. Can people use it like a maze? No. Just go and see something that's alive and coming up, how it is reverberating with life. If this doesn't come into your life, you haven't lived. This is why in this culture, they said, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. If you don't live fully, this is like failing in an examination. You were in 3rd standard, you failed. 3rd standard again. You were in 3rd standard, you failed again. 3rd standard again. Not good, isn't it? Hello? Hello? Not good, isn't it? Same standard for always, not good. I met one guy who's been in the medical college for 23 years, still didn't pass. I congratulated him. He said, Sadhguru, why are you saying this? I said, you saved a lot of lives. 23 years, he didn't pass. That must be really life-saving. So, there is life and life. Life and the source of life. Life and deeper life. This needs… I'm using this word very consciously, it takes lust. I'm saying lust because lust is more compulsive than love, lust is more compulsive than desire. You need lust for life. Not hormone-induced lust, just lust for life. Then your attention will shine like the sun. Can't put it off. You're awake or asleep, it's on. Once your attention is like this, there is nothing that cannot be reached, there is nothing that cannot be experienced, there is nothing that cannot be done either. It's just a question of inclination, how much we're willing to do. So these 100 days, people are getting emotional, Sadhguru in so much pain. Do I look like pain? I'm ready for the whole night. Looking at all these fire torches, I was beginning to think, oh, is it Mahashivratri, I have to… Okay. So if you love me, you must say, save soil 10 minutes a day. Not to me, come on. Not to me, to the world, to somebody new. Every day for 10 minutes at least per day. Next 12 months you must do it. Are you ready? Because this part of the journey, these 100 days, oh, we rode this crazy horse on the motorcycle when we were doing the Native American tour and it stayed. This was not to say it was crazy horse, this is to honor a Native American leader who died in a tragic way, but had certain wisdom and fire in him. They named him Crazy Horse. So I thought, they had a monument for him, where what do you call them, the three presidents of America are carved on the mountain, Mount Rushmore. Next to Mount Rushmore, the Native Americans tried to make something really large, even larger than that, Crazy Horse's face where he's pointing out a finger like this. But it was too huge a project, they didn't have the money to complete, halfway it stopped. So I thought I should honor him by writing his name on the motorcycle, so we put this Crazy Horse on the motorcycle because he had an unfinished monument. People had lost the momentum to make it happen. So, these 100 days, well, maybe a few people understand, maybe people like Kannan, others who know what it means to ride will understand how many dangerous moments were there. So the dangerous journey is over, but the real hard work begins from now. I have only 4 days in the yoga center, then we are traveling out to UK, United States, Caribbean nations, South America, because all these nations are ready to take this forward. But these days they're putting a rider. If you come, we will sign and take it forward. If you don't come, we are waiting. Now, so I think in the next month and a half, at least 21 to 22 nations I'm traveling.
because the next level of action needs to happen now. So my estimate is somewhere between 12 to 18 months, most nations we can push them towards making some kind of soil regeneration policy. I'm quite confident about this. But for this, your voices should rise and stay raised. One day of shouting will not do this. One day of shouting, sloganing and crying will not do this. This needs a relentless commitment. If you promise me at least for next 12 months, this is your daily puja, that for 10 to 12 minutes a day, you will spread the soil message. So, two of you friends make a deal and say, Sadhguru said 12 minutes, you say save soil, I say save soil, I say save soil, you say save soil. Not like that, to somebody new. Social media, whatever. Or if you don't know all those things, walk on the street, stop people on the street and tell them something about soil. Yes. I was in Hyderabad and I was sharing with them the first program, after I did the first Mysore program, which was for 7 people, then I ended up in Hyderabad. I had never been to a city like that, in the sense, we lived in Mysore, Bangalore, it's always like this, cool and nice. Suddenly I went to Hyderabad in peak summer, in the month of April, mid-April. Whoa, my tongue was hanging out and it was very hot. And ironically, at that time also I rode a motorcycle to Hyderabad. But that was my 250 as the… Now it feels like tuk-tuk-tuk, but those days that was the fastest thing on the road. So I went to Hyderabad, I had never experienced that kind of heat. Well, now I know better heat in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain and other places, but it really sapped me out. I didn't know anybody in Hyderabad, I just went into a new city and trying to teach something only for the second time in my life. I'd never taught anything till then, till I did the first program for 7 people in Mysore, then the next adventure is in Hyderabad. So, I'm going and giving introductions, yoga introduction, to our rickshaw drivers, rickshaw pullers. Those days all full of cycling rickshaws. Rickshaw drivers, banks, offices, on the street whoever I see, vegetable sellers, all kinds. Then I arranged an introductory. By then I was running high temperature because I'm drinking anything I get on the streets. I had no place to stay, so I went and stayed in the ISKCON temple because they gave me a place to sleep in the hall and also they served me this much of prasad, which was good enough for me. So free food and free lodging, so I stayed there and whole day. In a day, sometimes I've done over 40 introductions. And I went to this particular hotel called Taj Mahal. Nothing like Taj Mahal, but it's called Taj Mahal. So they looked at me and they said, what are you doing? And said this, I need a hall to arrange an introductory. They said, refuse to give a hall to me. Then at last they agreed to give me a terrace on which I could speak. No microphone. 350 people turned up, no microphone. And I've been running temperature for already 12-15 days. And I'm standing and speaking full, loud voice and I'm sweating so much, my clothes are literally dripping water. They looked at me and said, what is this? You're running temperature like this, you're sick, but why are you going on like this? What is this? I said, you must come and see. Out of 350 people, 227 people enrolled in my second program. Why I'm telling you this is, the weather,
temperature goes up and down, here temperature goes up and down. This shouldn't stop you from doing what you want to do. The only reason it stops you is you have not found anything significant enough to do. I'm asking, anything that sustains your life, sustains every other life, and above all, transforms life. Is it significant enough thing to do? Hello? In whichever form, not everybody needs to do a spiritual program. In whichever form, if you're doing something that makes a difference for another life, is it significant enough, I'm asking? So, if you find something significant enough, you'll always have the energy, you'll always have the time to do it. It's just that you are looking, calculating, what should I do, what should I not do, is this person worth spending this time or not? Once you leave this, you become like light. When you're on, you're just on. Whoever comes in the light focus, everybody gets the light. If you become like this, that you're unprejudiced about what you're doing, the existence will sustain you. Really, I'm here whole day, since morning 10 o'clock I've been riding, you should have seen the street situations, what we are going through. It's a wrestling match with the people. They love me, of course, but it's a wrestling match. So, with all that wrestling, I'm just fine. This is not about being superhuman or something. This is the nature of life, that if your life is open to the existence, when I say open, you think, okay, let me say I love you to somebody. Not like that kind, that's a trick. When your life is open, the whole existence is yours. Nobody to deny this to you. Everything is yours. That's why he's sitting here as a symbol of that, simply. Always exuberant, intoxicated, and still at the same time. So because without my permission, he invaded my life, I also acquired something. Thank you very much for being here. I must tell you this Gangava, have you heard, anybody heard of Gangava? This Andhra Pradesh, there is one YouTube champion now, an old lady, a village lady, she speaks only in Telugu. You know her? Anybody? Oh, all of you know. So she was asking me all kinds of questions, a really spirited lady. And then she said, "Edo Devudu nito unnado, lekapothe ilanta kaadu." She was telling me, no, you're 65 and you're riding like this all over the world? I've been watching all the videos in rain, everything you're riding. No, I know some God is riding with you, I know some God is riding with you, otherwise it's not possible. I said, yes, that's why I've kept the seat open, the pillion seat is always for the God to ride with me. Yes, been riding with me, thank you very much, all of you. Next 12 months, I can sing a Hindi song these days, so you know this? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hey, what? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. La
of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
As Sadhguru has said, the safe soil movement is not over until the policies are enacted across all nations. Let us pledge to keep our voice raised to safe soil. We would like to once again thank our sponsors, national sponsor PVR, Cine Media partner UFO Movies, and Tube Investments. Annadanam is being served on the moon side of Adiyogi. I repeat, Annadanam is being served on the moon side of Adiyogi. ஆதியோகியோட பிறை சைடில் அன்னதானம் இப்போ நடக்குது.